Well, you ready to get with the actual podcast instead of just talking nonsense?
Welcome back to another episode of the Real Duo Podcast, the most mediocre podcast on the internet. I'm one of your hosts, Wade.
I'm another host, Devin.
What have you been watching this week, Devin?
Oh, you're gonna be proud of me. I've watched some good movies.
Shit, dog. Did you finally watch Blade Runner?
No.
But son of a bitch. This is becoming like a meme at this point.
It's gonna be a meme.
It's gonna be our new slogan. The Real Duo Podcast. Devin still hasn't seen Blade Runner.
One day. Me and Dylan are watching it tomorrow. We talked about it. We're watching it tomorrow.
Good.
So, officially. But I did watch some good movies, and I think you've seen all of these movies. So
probably.
So the first one, you already know. I watched Zodiac. Zodiac was freaking great.
Zodiac's awesome. I love Zodiac.
I love Zodiac.
It's a horror movie.
It's not. It's more of like a thriller.
There's some pretty scary shit in that movie. When that lady's tied up and he's just stabbing her in the back and she's screaming and there's no music, you're gonna tell me that's not terrifying?
I love how in like Jake Gyllenhaal is just like this random dude. He's like, I gotta solve this, and he's like going nuts. And he loses his family. Oh, it's
an early Avengers movie.
It is. There's a lot of people in there from the Avengers. But that was great. I love Zodiac. I recommend it. I watched Inception.
Inception is probably one of my least favorite Christopher Nolan movies. I still enjoy it, and I still think it's really good. But it's one of those movies where I watch it and I'm just like, a lot of this doesn't quite make sense, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
It was good. It was my second time watching it because I was rewatching it in case it's tied into Tenet somehow because it seems like it might be.
It'd be smart if it was.
I don't know because it may be. But I enjoyed it. I like Leonardo's. I think Leonardo isn't as good in this as he is in other movies, but
no, because he's not like screaming and shit like he usually is in movies. He's kind of just like, oh, I'm Leonardo DiCaprio.
I was gonna say he's just kind of mellow,
like depressed and mopey.
Yeah, he's just kind of mellow in the whole thing.
Yeah. What's your interpretation of the ending?
It don't matter to me. He's dead. I mean, he's not dead, but
no, he's in a dream world.
He probably is.
Probably. But I hate all that shit because when a filmmaker makes an ending purposefully ambiguous, that's the whole point. Like the fact that people are still to this day asking Christopher Nolan, like, "Oh, did the top fall?" Like you missed the entire point of the ending.
He literally tells people that he doesn't care.
Yeah, the whole point of it is for you to craft what you think happened.
I think, me personally, he's probably still in the dream world. He probably didn't get out.
I think he's probably still there too because it would make it more interesting. But there's some really like subtle stuff that could kind of allude to the fact that he's out.
Yeah, I've read a long time ago there was something about like his wedding ring or something is a big thing in that. I don't know. I like to think that he's still in the dream world.
Yeah,
he doesn't deserve a happy ending.
No, he's a fucking piece of shit.
I don't know if you've seen this movie. Have you ever seen Trumbo? I watched that.
I saw Trumbo and I was really disappointed by Trumbo.
It wasn't like good, I thought, but it wasn't like bad either.
It wasn't terrible, but
it kept my attention enough to finish the movie.
I was expecting like a really, really great biopic about Dalton Trumbo, who's a really like fascinating person, and he was a really interesting writer. And you have Bryan Cranston, who's like one of the best actors like ever, playing this fucking guy. And then the movie just comes out and it's like really, I was just like, all right, whatever. It's really boring and uninteresting. And you see Bryan Cranston's like old ass at one point. And I was like, yeah, you didn't need to see that at all. That was gross. I like John Goodman though. He's good.
John Goodman's good in it. And Bryan Cranston did a pretty good job in it too.
He's great.
It's just, it wasn't like super interesting. I thought.
It was just like a generic biopic.
It should have been. It's about freaking communism in Hollywood. It's a good topic. It's an interesting topic. But whatever.
It's just a standard biopic.
And then I got two more. One of these isn't very good, but I watched The Lighthouse.
What are your thoughts on The Lighthouse?
That movie was freaking bizarre, man. I didn't think it was so weird.
When I described that movie to you, I thought it would be weird.
When you described it to me, I'm like, oh, it's gonna make sense when I watch it, but it didn't.
No, hey Devin, there's mermaid vaginas. That'll make sense.
Like I was like, oh, it's good. Like it'll make sense. I love William Dafoe and Pat are freaking amazing.
They're so fucking fantastic. William Dafoe like the fact that he hasn't won an Oscar yet is insane. Give this man an Oscar, all right? He's so good in everything.
And I love how you have no sense of how much time passes in the movie relatively. Like, so you're just like, how long have they been there? I don't know. And I also don't know. I like how you don't know what's real and what isn't real.
I don't like how, like, by the end, you kind of know what happened, but at the same time, you have no fucking idea what happened.
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't know what the hell, like, what's real, what's not. Like, who was actually that was Willem Dafoe made up? Like, does his cooking actually suck? Like,
because there's a point where Willem Dafoe's like, maybe I'm a figment of your imagination.
Yeah, he's like, maybe I'm not fucking real.
And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, shit, maybe he is. I was like, I don't know.
And that final shot of the movie is like one of the most like gorgeous looking shots I think I've ever seen in a movie.
Where he's getting eaten by the
spoilers. I wasn't gonna say it. Spoilers.
Nobody's gonna see it. If people haven't seen that movie by now, they're probably not gonna see it.
But yeah, when he's just like when his like dead body's laying there and like the seagulls are picking at it, and then it just like pans up, and like it just looks gorgeous.
It was good. I liked it though. I liked it.
So
and then this last one is an Adam Sandler movie.
Jesus Christ. Is it Uncut Gems?
No. It's Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Okay. The fact that you watch Don't Mess with the Zohan before Uncut Gems really pisses me off.
What's funny is it made me appreciate The Lighthouse way more because I watched them back to back. So
because I watched Don't Mess with the Zohan for the first time like a few months ago, and it's fucking terrible.
It is. It is the worst thing I've ever seen, probably. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's like bad.
It's up there. It's pretty bad.
It's bad.
It's not even up there with like Happy Gilmore or like Big Daddy or Mr. Deeds or like it's fucking. It's up there with like Jack and Jill.
Imagine that. I sat down and watched that before I watched Blade Runner. And
you're a piece of shit, Devin.
I didn't like it. If that makes you feel
a
better.
Piece of shit. I could have told you that. You should have looked at the poster and went like, I'm not gonna like this. This is bad.
Well, I was like, it was like 1 a.m, and I was like, I kind of want to watch a movie, but I don't want to like have to pay attention that much, so I threw that on.
I mean, yeah, that's the perfect description of Adam Sandler comedies.
It really is. Milo, shut up. What did you watch this week? That's everything I watched.
I've been watching a bunch of stuff. I watched Once Upon a Time in America, the extended director's cut, the 4.5 hour cut.
I thought you were going to say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, I watched a good movie with Once Upon a Time in the title. All right. I like that movie, but it's not great. This is a phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen this, watch this movie because it's fantastic. It's a masterpiece. It's so good. If you like long movies and you like Robert De Niro,
I love Robert De Niro.
He's fucking fantastic in it. I also watched Chinatown for the first time. I've never seen Chinatown.
I've heard that's really good.
It's fucking fantastic.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it.
And this Blu-ray, this transfer is gorgeous.
Is it black and white?
No, it's in color. I would have loved a black and white version because it probably would have looked amazing in black and white.
But it would have jumped to your like top 10 all time if it wasn't black and white.
No, stuff like that. Like it's not like, oh man, if it's in black and white, it's like 10 out of 10 because it wasn't the same movie. But I just love like when Logan came out, you got both versions, just like an option for it. You know, if I want to watch it. But it's so good. Jack Nicholson is badass in it. I love his look in the movie. His nose is like fucked up at one point, so he just has bandages on it.
Did he win an Oscar for that?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. He's really good in it.
That or he was nominated for one.
And he's actually kind of different in this movie than he is like usually. Like usually he's like, oh, I'm Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, he's not crazy, bug-eyed,
creepy. I mean, still like a little bit because that's just him as a person. But he feels more like a real person in this movie. Like he there were points where I was like, that's like, it's weird that Jack Nicholson's being like normal right now.
He wasn't creepy like he is in every movie.
No, he wasn't creepy.
He's always like that creepy old man and everything.
He's actually kind of like charming and likable, which is really weird.
Like he's perfect cast for The Shining because he's creepy in that.
Oh, he's so perfect. That whole movie is perfect. Everything about that movie is perfect. And then I recently purchased the 15th anniversary edition of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I've been watching this fucking show.
How's it been?
So far, I'm still in season 1. I'm gonna watch more of it tonight. I haven't finished season 1 yet.
What? Oh my god!
There's like 30 episodes a season of this fucking show.
There's like 15 a season or 20.
There's not. There's 22, I think.
22.
That's a lot of TV, Devin.
They're all 20 minutes. It's not that long.
3 discs a season. That's a lot.
I think people have disagreed with me. Personally, I think season 1's the worst season. I think
it's not great.
I think for me, it gets better as the seasons go on. So
I definitely enjoy the animation is stunning. It's one of the best looking animated shows I think I've ever seen. Everything about it looks great. Like the fact, like it reminds me a lot of Samurai Jack, where like you watch Samurai Jack action scenes, and you're like, how the fuck did they animate? Like this must have been expensive as hell. You watch Avatar: Last Airbender, and it's like every frame must have cost like so much money because there's so much detail, and then like the action scenes happen, and there's just so much going on. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
What's crazy is season 2 is even better. Like they ramped up the budget after.
I'm sure it is. I enjoy the show.
Season 2 looks amazing.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that the show is 15 years old.
I know.
I remember when it premiered.
I don't remember it
fucking there.
I don't remember it being premiered because I don't think I watched the premiere.
I saw the first
watching it. I remember watching it on TV.
And we're so old.
We are old.
But this is an awesome set. It's 3 steel books, and it's fucking awesome.
I love it.
But I'm excited to finish the show.
I'm gonna steal that from you.
You know you're not.
I'm gonna take the
son of a bitch.
I'll leave you the case.
I'll put a lock and key on it. All right. And then I didn't watch this, but I've seen it before. I just want to shout out Sunset Boulevard because it's a fantastic movie.
Just gonna shout out movies that you had to
shout it out because I don't give a shit.
That's not allowed.
I'm gonna do what I want.
It's on the secret rules list that we have for this podcast. It's not.
It's
allowed.
On the unofficial secret rules list that I just made up.
Yep. It's not allowed.
I don't give a fuck.
Is that all you watched this week, though?
For the most part, yeah. I watched some like samurai shit that nobody cares about.
Well, you ready to get into some news? We actually got some
movie news.
I have some interesting news that I think will tickle your pickle. So.
Stop saying that. That's very like perverted.
We're not talking about your pickle.
You yes you are. You just said it.
We're just talking about your pickle.
The fuck does that mean?
Your pet pickle that you have.
That's not a thing.
You have a jar with a pickle in it.
That's not. I wonder if Kevin Spacey used that excuse when he said the same thing to that little boy.
They're not full-grown pickles.
Jesus Christ! News already. Jesus.
I'm gonna start with something that's gonna piss you off if you haven't seen it yet.
Oh, fuck. First, you're talking about pickles. Now I'm gonna be pissed off.
Yeah, it's gonna piss you off.
Suck.
I think it's gonna piss you off, maybe. So, they're making a new Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
Yeah. So the new lead, is Margot Robbie.
This doesn't piss me off because I don't care because I'm not going to see this. I mean,
what was your initial reaction though when you saw
I was kind of like, oh, okay. But did you also hear that there's another Pirates of the Caribbean movie coming out?
Yes, that's a reboot that we talked about earlier in this podcast once.
Which is strange. So the one with Margot Robbie isn't a reboot?
Or yeah.
Is that a sequel? And then they're putting
connected to the Johnny Depp universe, but Johnny Depp's not in it.
Okay. And then the other one's going to be a reboot.
Yes, it's going to be something completely different.
What the fuck? Why?
People care about Pirates of the Caribbean, apparently. I don't know.
But we don't need a sequel in it. This is like Ghostbusters.
It's really confusing, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to confuse the fuck out of everybody if they care. I don't think anybody cares about pirates anymore.
I mean, those movies make money, so
they do, and they're going to make more money with Margot Robbie in it because she's.
Are they though? Is Johnny Depp not like the moneymaker for those movies?
I mean, he was for the time being, but now that he's like an abuser man and he's like crazy, everyone's like, I don't want to support Johnny Depp. Move. So now, now they're going to get some hot chick in there. She's going to run around and not act and just be hot. And then people are going to be like, oh, she's so hot. And that makes the movie good. Because that's basically what she did in the DC movies. So
we talked about, I don't remember what episode, but we talked about the reboot earlier on. They announced that.
We talked about this a couple times.
Yeah. But I didn't know they were making a sequel. Well, I think we did. Did we talk about a sequel at one point?
I think we talked about a continuation. I don't know if it was necessarily a sequel. But it was some kind of Pirates movie.
I don't know where this ties in. I don't know if it's like
I don't know
after Johnny Depp or if it's like
I don't even really give a shit. I didn't see the last one, so
I haven't seen any of them besides like the first two.
I saw the first. I think I saw the third one, if I remember correctly. I think I saw the trilogy, and then I just gave up.
5? Are there 5 of those movies?
There's 5, yeah.
Yeah, there's 2. That's 4 too many.
That's
4 too many.
That's 5 too many. We didn't even use one of these fucking movies.
The first one's fine. I like the first one.
I remember the first one being good. I haven't seen it in like a decade, but I remember it being like pretty solid.
Is it on Disney Plus? Go watch it on Disney
Probably.
Plus.
I might do that.
There you go.
Remember when Orlando Bloom was in movies?
Is he not anymore?
No, the last thing he was in was the fucking Hobbit.
Was he?
Yeah, they brought Legolas back, and he did fucking nothing in those movies.
I mean, I just thought he was in stuff that I hadn't seen. Maybe
He's still doing like indie stuff every now and then, but like ever since he started like dating Katy Perry or whatever, he was just like, no, I don't want to be in movies anymore.
I mean, that makes sense. He's got Katy Perry to take care of. Like,
I mean, I guess
Katy Perry is a handful. She's kind of a nut.
she probably is.
So, you want me to just continue? You got some news you want to lay on me?
You can continue if you want.
All right, I'll continue. So apparently they're making a Magic School Bus movie. Didn't know if you knew that.
Is this live action?
Yes, live action.
Who's gonna play Miss Frizzle?
I have that news. That's why.
Oh, this is like a thing.
Yeah, Elizabeth Banks is going to be playing Miss Frizzle.
No, they already fucked up.
That's who they casted.
No, cancel this movie.
That's how I learned about this movie. Is that I saw the news that she was casted for it.
Get Swinton.
Get who?
Tilda Swinton.
Oh, that'd work. I can see that.
Yeah, she'd be great.
Just get her the orange hair.
Yeah, give her a little dumb wig, put her in the dumb polka dot dress, give her the little lizard to talk to. She'd do great. Give it to Elizabeth. Elizabeth Banks is not funny.
She tries.
And they're gonna make this like a women like funny movie about women being women and strong women and whatever. And she's not like, no, that's not gonna work. You were in 3 Spider-Man movies for like 2 seconds. Fuck off, all right?
Why are they making this movie? The cartoon is enough.
Oh, I mean, they brought back the cartoon for a little bit.
Did they?
It was like a reboot, and it was like really bad apparently. But because it's a property that people our age know, and they're gonna be like, oh, you know, they're making a movie. We gotta go see that because I remember that from my childhood.
But who our age is gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go see the fucking Magic School Bus? Like, what?
Probably us.
I'm not. No. Well, maybe.
I'll see it at some point. Just check it out. See what the fuck this is.
Only because I have a movie pass, and I'll just go.
I guarantee you
every week and just be like, yeah, I'll go watch that.
Yeah, I guarantee you this will be like Jumanji.
Oh, you think
like
it's gonna be like
new
that?
Jumanji movie?
Like that? Like just nuts? Like
yes, that's because if you are doing a faithful adaptation of the show, there's got to be learning and shit in it.
Yeah,
and like they're not going to do that. It's going to be a crazy action adventure in space or in some fucking jungle somewhere, and they're going to be swinging from vines. I guarantee you, there's going to be a vine swinging scene in this fucking movie. All right, they're going to go to some jungle somewhere, and Miss Frizzle's going to be like, "Oh, I'm swinging from vines, boo boo boo," and then it's like crazy, and there's action, and there's going to be giant CGI monsters and shit in it. This is going to be a terrible fucking movie.
I don't even know who owns
the Rock.
All right, no, don't put the Rock. Make him one of the kids.
Jumanji 4.
Make him one of the kids.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know who owns the Magic School Bus property and who's making it.
I think it's like PBS or something, isn't it?
I have no idea. But this doesn't need to be balls to the walls crazy. I mean, I know
it doesn't need to, but it will.
The show kind of is balls to the walls crazy if you think about it sometimes. Like, yeah, let's fly to the moon and stuff.
But it was a TV show for children that would come on at like 9 a.m. that was like teach you stuff. It wasn't like trying to be anything other than that. This is gonna try to be like an epic, like the Dora the Explorer movie that came out. It's gonna be that. It's gonna. That's what it's gonna be.
I don't want that. Not at all. That's awful. No.
It's like if they made a Dragon Tales movie. It's gonna be this big epic fucking like CGI Dragon Tales movie. It's like we don't need that.
I can see a Dragon Tales movie working. I couldn't see this working.
I couldn't because that show was goofy and stupid. Because it was made for 5-year-olds.
You could make a dark and gritty Dragon's Tales movie.
Everybody, all these a dark and gritty Dragon Tales movie. Those kids would show up and the dragons would just burn them to death.
I'm surprised they haven't announced that they're going to make like a Gargoyles movie or something one day.
Gargoyles movie, I'd be totally fine with.
I would too. That's a great show.
Fine with that. Don't put Jordan Peele involved with it because I think at one point he was talking about doing a Gargoyles movie. Don't have him involved in it.
I think he pitched one, but I think they denied it. So
Well, that's why you shouldn't fucking touch him because it was probably bad. He's probably like, I want all the gargoyles to be black.
Oh my god!
It's like, no, they're fucking gargoyles, Jordan. Like they're gray.
They're just gonna be voice actors. Leave them alone.
If they do that though, I want Keith David in the movie.
Keith David,
Who's Goliath?
Who's
Fucking Keith David, you son of a bitch.
I can't picture his face.
You voiced Spawn.
You're about 2 seconds from wearing that smile around your ass.
He fucking what else? He was in The Thing.
I know who it is.
The original The Thing. Fucking Keith David, all right?
I know who it is. I couldn't picture his face for some reason.
The most iconic black person ever lived.
No, that's Danny Glover, right?
Is he the most iconic?
Or Morgan Freeman.
Maybe Morgan Freeman. I would say Danny Glover. Danny Glover hasn't been relevant in like 30 years, okay?
Hey, I just watched Lethal Weapon the other day. He's great in it.
He's great. And that's a great movie. But that also came out 40 fucking years ago, Devin.
Will Smith's pretty iconic.
Not anymore.
I mean, he was.
He was in like the early 2000s.
He was in like everything in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Remember Wild Wild West?
I remember it, but I don't want it.
He turned down The Matrix for that.
I know he did, and he regrets it.
Fucking, I'm sure he does.
He's come out and said I should have been in The Matrix.
Yeah, he turned out Django for fucking After Earth. Like he's just making these terrible fucking decisions. I'm glad you don't have a career anymore, Will Smith.
He's got Bad Boys going for him.
Great.
Next on my list, I'm kind of mad about this. Do you like Twister, the movie?
I know.
Are you fond of it in any way?
No, this is like crappy B movie from like the 80s or whatever.
Well, they're remaking it. So
okay, cool. I know there are a lot of people who are like, "Oh, Twister's so cool," but that's because there were like 8 movies that came out in the 80s.
Twister has a weird cult following. It's got a weird cult following. I'm sad to say that I'm kind of a part of it because I kind of enjoy that movie.
It's got a fun camp to it, and the cast is great. Like Carrie Elways is great in it, Bill Paxton's great in it, Helen Hunt's great in it. But it's just like a goofy, dumb fucking movie.
Oh, it for sure is. And like at one point, a tornado like literally roars like a lion in the movie.
It does. It does. Like the final when Helen Hunt like sees the one, she's like, "Oh fuck you, tornado!" It's like, roar.
Yeah,
like, it's not
like it's a stupid movie, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's one of those bad movies that I enjoy.
That's completely fair.
I don't want a reboot. It doesn't need a remake.
Put The Rock in it.
I could totally see that.
He'll punch a tornado.
He's gonna be Bill Paxton. No, they're gonna put Jason Statham in it.
No, he's too like gritty action man. You got to get someone who's like likable and like kind of charming. Jason Statham looks like a murderer. All right.
They're gonna put the new Rock in there.
No, you know who they're gonna put fucking Chris Pratt in this movie.
Oh,
because he'd be perfect for this type of thing.
Chris Pratt is in those big franchises. You know, he doesn't do the small.
Don't turn this into. What do you mean? This is gonna be a big epic summer blockbuster.
They're gonna do Twister 2 and 3 after this.
Fuck like, yeah.
No,
they made 3 Sharknado movies. They made 4 Sharknado movies. They can make 4 Twister movies.
They don't need to make that many Sharknado movies.
They don't need to make a Twister reboot, but they don't. It.
I can see this being like actually okay though if they do it right. If they make it goofy again, it's probably not going to be good.
I mean, it's a movie about a fucking tornado.
You can make that good and interesting.
Can you?
I think you could.
I don't think you could.
It's going to look good, like visually.
It'll look fine.
I'd love to see a modern tornado thing going on.
I'd love to see a modern tornado.
Well, I don't want to see one in real life. No,
that'd be terrifying. We saw a modern tornado in Man of Steel when Paul Kent got sucked up in it.
Oh, that looked terrible though. It didn't even look good.
It looked fucking awful.
They need to do real physics, man.
I guess you want to see Paul Kent get sucked up and like turn into mush.
No, I don't want to see that. Just make the tornado look realistic.
That's fair. Just film during a real tornado. All right.
Oh,
put everyone's life in danger for the sake of art, because that's what art is. Right?
If it's not real, it's not good.
If it ain't real, it ain't cinema.
Like, why didn't Chris Hemsworth film his scenes in space for Infinity War? I don't know.
Fucking coward.
I mean, Tom Cruise is doing it.
Tom Cruise is actually going to space, motherfucker. If you told him, all right, Tom Cruise, we have to film the scene where you're powering the heart of a dying star, he'd be like, got it. And he'd go up to space and like find a star. He'd be the first man to touch a star. All right,
I'm gonna do it.
Tom Cruise is amazing.
I can't wait. No, I can't wait. That's a bad thing. That's a bad way to word that. But I was gonna say I can't wait till his like career is over and we're just looking back on it and just being like, look at this. Look at what this man did. Look at all the stuff he did.
Well, I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, he's a fucking crazy person." Boo.
His career will die when he just
I'll be
dies.
celebrating his career because he's worth celebrating.
He is, but his career is going to end when he just dies. Like, there's no like.
He's gonna be when he's 85. He'll still be right on jets and shit.
If he makes it that long, who knows?
He's gonna make that. Scientology works wonders.
Yeah, but like one day that cable could snap and he could fall off that plane. You never know. You never know.
It's very true.
My next piece of news, I think we talked about. Did we talk about Scream 5 at one point in this podcast?
Yeah.
It's got an official release date. It's coming out next year, apparently. So
great.
I know you're gonna be lined up to see that.
Sure.
Because I know you've seen
the other 3 fucking Scream movies.
I was gonna say I know you've seen all the other Scream movies.
Oh, I've seen the first one. I
think I've seen more scary movies than Scream.
Oh, you son of fuck.
So I've seen the first Scream.
I mean, to be honest, I've probably seen more scary movies than Scream as well.
But for anybody who cares, 2021 is when it's coming out.
2021. Everything's coming out next year.
Everything was supposed to come out this year, but then it all got pushed back. So, and then my last piece of movie news, I saved the best for last for you.
Shit.
Beverly Hills Cops 4. You know about this, right?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Whatever.
Singular.
Whatever.
There's only one. Eddie Murphy is the Beverly Hills Cop.
Well, maybe he's got another cop in this one.
Fuck.
But you know about this movie, right?
I know he's been like wanting to make it for like ever.
Well, it's happening. I think we've talked about it before, but it might cross over with the Bad Boys universe.
Because I think it's the same directors of Bad Boys for Life, right? I think that's why they were saying that, because they're directing this too. That'd be awesome. I don't give a shit about Beverly Hills Cop, but it'd be awesome.
If Will Smith shows up in that movie, that'd be insane.
No, I want Martin Lawrence.
All
you need is one scene where fucking Axel Foley stumbles into the police station and you just see Martin Lawrence and he's doing his fucking Martin Lawrence thing and he's just like fucking screaming and shit. And he's got the police chief badge on and he's just being Martin Lawrence. Like, that's all you need. And I'll be like, fucking A, this is a great universe.
I don't care about Beverly Hills Cop.
I saw the first one and I was like, all right, cool, it's a movie. And then I just didn't care to see the other ones.
I haven't seen any of them.
They're fine. First one's fine.
But apparently it may get a crossover event. I'm still waiting on the Transformers, G.I. Joe, Power Rangers crossover thing that we're getting.
Put Ninja Turtles in there. That'd be awesome. Do another Ninja Turtles Power Ranger crossover. That'd be dope.
When was the last time they did that? The 90s?
I think so, yeah. When did the next mutation come out? I think that was the 90s.
I think about like 96, I want to
Probably.
Say. I don't know.
Let's do that again. That was fun.
That was fun. It wasn't good.
Hey, Eddie Murphy, when's fucking Triplets coming out, all right?
Never. He's not doing that.
Because it's the only Eddie Murphy like comeback movie that I give a shit about. I don't care about Coming to America 2.
He's not in the new Mulan, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so fuck it. Make Triplets, because that would be amazing.
He's not doing that.
Fuck. It's still on his IMDb. It says he's doing it. Fucking when's it coming? All right.
Same thing with The Rock and Black Adam, apparently, and that's not happening either. So
I hate life. Everything I want isn't happening.
They keep saying that's going to happen, so maybe it will.
No.
That's all my movie news. I do have TV, but if you have any movie news,
I have some movie news and I have some TV news, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. I have some movie news that might tickle your fancy.
Yeah, tickle my tickle for me.
I'm not going to do that because it involves one of your favorite movie franchises of all time.
Oh, it's a Jurassic Park.
Jurassic World 3. I got some news.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want, unless it's something good. Is it good? Should I prepare for it?
It's going to be amazing.
Okay. All right.
We're bringing back a very iconic character from Jurassic Park.
Jeff Goldblum.
Do you know who it is?
Give me a hint.
Remember when Newman was like just sitting at that table and that dude comes up and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna sell you these dinosaur eggs or whatever."
The guy with the canister thing?
Yeah, they're bringing that guy back.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
And it's a different actor playing that character, but that character's coming back.
Okay. Why?
Because Devin, he was very iconic. Sam Jackson will probably be in this fucking movie too.
Without an arm.
Not an arm, because he wasn't officially confirmed to be dead.
That's stupid. I don't care.
And they might bring Newman back, probably.
You thought that was good? Newman is dead. He was eaten.
No, we never saw him die. We saw him get mauled by a fucking velociraptor or whatever. He could have made it out.
Mauled.
He could have rolled out.
He got also poison shot in his eye.
He could have survived through that. He just could have been fucked up.
He's freaking dead. He's dead.
We don't know that. Bring Newman back. Hashtag bring Newman back.
I'd rather have Sam Jackson than Newman.
I mean,
he can say the famous line, "Hold on to your butts."
That's all he'll say in that movie.
Hold on
to your butts, and then he'll die again.
He'll lose his other arm.
Fuck. I've had it with these motherfucking dinosaurs in this motherfucking park.
They keep saying that this movie is going to be the end game of Jurassic Park movies, and that's just
so weird. That's such a weird statement.
It is. It is.
Because it's like Jurassic Park was never like this big epic thing. It was just a movie that was based on a book.
It was one really good movie, and then it got a bunch of crappy sequels. So
it's all Spielberg's fucking fault.
God damn it, Spielberg.
Why you gotta be such a greedy Jew, all right?
Why you gotta be so greedy? Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Jurassic World 3.
I don't think anybody is.
I think the poster, if this is the real poster, it looked pretty cool. But other than that, I don't care.
What was the poster?
It just had the original Jurassic Park logo, and it said Jurassic World Domination or whatever.
Oh man, that's so original and creative.
I liked it just because it was the original logo.
Wasn't that the logos for all of the movies though?
No, because the new ones are like gray and silver.
Oh, so it was like that red, like the red and black.
And yellow. Yeah, it's the red and yellow. Whatever.
Oh man, this is gonna be a great movie.
It is. They're going back to the old times.
Speaking of going back to the old times, Ghostbusters 3. I got some news.
Oh, I'm excited about this. Actually, I'm excited about this movie.
Well, I was until this fucking news.
Oh, great.
Apparently, Dan Aykroyd has said that Ghostbusters Afterlife will set up for sequels.
No,
because they want to make more movies with a bigger Ghostbusters team and have like a future Ghostbusters like universe going on.
So they're doing a passing of the torch movie.
Basically, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, they do that. Yeah, they want a franchise out of this.
No, just finish it. Do 3 and be done.
No, they can't do that. And I'm sure they're gonna do another Girlbusters, so it'll be fun.
Please don't do that. I haven't even seen that movie. I know it's bad.
I refuse to see that movie.
I know it's bad. I don't need to watch it. So it's awful. I was looking forward to this, especially Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd's great, and this looks like an actual like good Paul Rudd performance where he's not being like, "Oh, I'm goofy Paul Rudd." He's just like, guy.
In the trailer, we only saw like 2 seconds of him.
I know, but he just looks like he's being a guy. He's not being like Ant-Man.
He's being a guy. So you're not looking forward to this as much anymore now?
No, because now I know that nothing in the movie matters because we're gonna get more.
People could die. They could kill off the main.
No, they're not gonna kill any of these fucking kids.
They could kill off Bill Murray.
They're the original Ghostbusters are probably gonna die because that's how movies work now.
That's what I was saying.
But I don't care about that though.
Nobody dies in Ghost. Has anybody died in Ghostbusters?
I mean, Harold Ramis is like dead in real life.
No, but like in the movies, has anybody died?
I mean, like not the main cast, but like people die. Where do you think the fucking ghosts come from?
Well, yeah, but like none of like you said, none of the main people have died. So it'd be really weird if they killed off like Bill Murray and
they'll kill off Bill Murray. I'm sure that'll be in his contract. Like he'll be the Harrison Ford of this fucking franchise. I'll come back, but I'm not cutting my fucking hair.
I ain't cutting my hair. I'll do the fucking scene, but I'm not cutting my hair. Your hair is like really long, and you look like a bum.
They don't have to kill him though. Just be like, oh yeah, I'm retiring.
They will though.
I'm done after this.
Because that's how movies work now. You got to kill him. It's got to be definitive, and you got to have an emotional beat.
He's gonna get stabbed by a ghost. That's how he's gonna die.
Oh, it's gonna be so fucking epic. He's gonna like jump off a building and like stab Slimer in the dick.
The stupid. I don't know what that green ghost's name is.
Slimer.
Is it? Yeah, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna eat him.
He's gonna eat him to death.
He's gonna eat him.
Movies are just awesome, aren't they?
Oh, they're great. I love them.
They're so fucking good.
What's next? What's your next?
Next is TV news, I guess,
Oh.
technically. There apparently the Simpsons will no longer have white actors playing non-white characters, which is weird for one because nobody in the Simpsons is white.
But this also ties in the same thing with Family Guy. The guy who plays Cleveland isn't black, and he's stepping down.
Yeah, isn't Seth MacFarlane Cleveland?
I don't know. I think it's a different guy.
This is weird.
But the guy who played who's playing Cleveland stepped down too, so he's not going to be Cleveland anymore.
This whole thing,
It's
this
just
needs to stop. This needs to stop.
They're going to fire whoever's playing like Consuela in Family Guys because she's not a real Mexican woman.
Probably. I guess they should also fire Seth MacFarlane from playing Brian because he's not a dog.
Right. This whole thing's dumb.
Like this goes back to that whole like people getting mad at people for doing blackface during Halloween. Like the whole point of Halloween is dressing up as something that you're not. That's the entire point. And it's the same thing with acting.
It's not even
like
it's not even you see their face either. They're voice acting.
Voicing. And have you seen Samurai Jack?
No.
Samurai Jack, the lead character is a Japanese man. Guess who voices him?
An American, probably.
A black man.
A black man. Even better.
And nobody cares. No, like nobody, everyone's like, okay, cool, Samurai Jack's great. Phil Lamar is awesome. Like
it doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
It doesn't matter. Acting is acting. Who gives a shit? I guess Andy Serkis should just not be monkeys anymore because he's not an actual monkey.
This ties into, we've talked about it before with the Black Panther thing. It doesn't matter if the director's black or not. As long as he makes a good Black Panther movie, it doesn't freaking matter.
And like nobody cared when Robert Downey Jr. did it in Tropic Thunder. Like that's the only time I think I've ever seen like a white actor do blackface, and everyone's just like, all right, cool. Like, and it's so weird.
People are starting to find it, and they're starting to protest it now. That people are finding it.
Fuck, that was the entire point of that, though.
I know.
In the movie,
I don't think they've watched the movie.
Of that whole thing.
I think they just saw pictures and they're like, no, that can't happen.
Yeah, that can't fly. Cancel Tropic Thunder now. Cancel. Robert Downey Jr. is canceled now.
They're petitioning for something to get removed off Netflix. I can't remember what it was, but there's another movie on there.
This needs to stop. When there's going to be a resurgence, there's going to be some kind of backlash to all this woke shit. All right. And it's going to not be pretty. It's like we're going to have racism come out in full force on all this, and everyone's just going to be wearing blackface.
You people talking about this is making other people probably more racist than they already are because you keep fueling the fire. You can't just suppress these things that happen in history. They're there.
But not even in history. Like, who gives a shit if a black man voices a white character? Who gives a shit if because I'm that person where I'm like, get the best person for the job. If I write a story and in the story that character is black and fucking like Michael Fassbender auditions and he's the best person for the part, he's Michael Fassbender now. Like that's just how that works.
I don't care. I really don't.
I don't give a shit.
There are people out there that take it really personally, and they need to find better things to do with their lives than care about that.
I guess because I understand early blackface because it was like stereotypical and kind of offensive, but just painting your face black isn't inherently offensive.
I've never seen anybody do it in a serious movie.
Yeah, usually when people do it, it's like a joke. I remember there have been some, but like usually like they're making fun of the concept of someone doing it.
Right. I've never seen it done in like where they don't point it out. Like you're like, oh,
there's been some like early movies and stuff like in the 40s.
I'm just saying I haven't.
Yeah.
Personally, I've never seen a movie where somebody's like he's white and he's supposed to be playing a black character. Like that's just like, and they don't point it out in the movie.
Yeah.
Like Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is the only one, but that was played as a joke. Like,
that was the whole point of the movie was that they were making fun of actors who take things way too seriously.
Right.
That was the whole joke, and that's why it was funny.
And that's why I don't think people who are protesting Tropic Thunder have actually seen it. They've just seen clips or just pictures of it.
And everyone's like protesting like Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel now because they did blackface once because they were playing black like people. Like I think Jimmy Kimmel was like pretending to be was it Kobe Bryant or something, and he got all done up in like black makeup and everything, and it was like cancel Jimmy Kimmel. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
I don't think people know what comedy is. It's supposed to be.
But here's the thing: like, if you have a Kobe Bryant impression and you want to do a sketch with Kobe Bryant and you're a white man, do you just like look like yourself? That's not going to come off the same way because it's not Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant doesn't look that way.
I don't know.
Do you hire a black person to come in? Because it's not going to be as funny because that person's probably not a comedian.
I don't know.
So like this whole thing, everything about this is just like stupid.
It's like people getting offended when stand-up comedians do rape jokes. Like it's a joke.
It's a joke, and everyone's like, "Oh well, it's all about context." The context is that you're at a fucking comedy club and people are telling jokes. That's the context.
Don't take it seriously.
You're not supposed to take anything that is being said in a comedy setting. You like if you pay for a ticket to see somebody, you are acknowledging that like you're okay with the context, that you're in a comedic setting, that everything that's going to be told to you tonight is a joke. So then if you get mad at something, you're a fucking idiot.
People take things just way too seriously. Take it too hard.
Stop. This all needs to fucking stop.
And I feel bad for the actors that feel like they have to step down in this situation because I'm sure
they don't have to do anything.
I know, but I feel like they're getting pressured to do this, and I feel bad for them because I mean that's their paycheck. But
I think the fact that we're forcing people to step down from playing these characters is stupid.
it is.
Like when Hank Azaria had to step down from playing Apu in The Simpsons. Why? Why?
I don't know.
Because he's not Indian.
I don't know. They're
Who's going to play that character now?
Like I said, Consuela from Family Guy, they're doing the same thing because that's played by a man. It's not even played by a woman.
Yeah.
And I don't. He's not a Mexican man either. He's just a man, a white man. I'm pretty sure.
Stewie's also not played by a baby.
Right. So like,
we're just gonna bring a baby in to voice Stewie now. That's not gonna work.
Do you remember a couple years ago when Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart were in that movie? And Bryan
The Upside.
And he's playing a crippled, and people were upset about it. He's acting.
Yeah.
He's acting.
He's acting. Guess what? Kevin Hart also isn't like a broke, poor, like deadbeat dad. He's like a billionaire.
I'd much rather see a
so we should be offended by that too, because he's not actually that.
Right. I was gonna say I'd much rather see a good performance by freaking Bryan Cranston than a terrible performance by somebody who's actually physically impaired.
Yeah, and it was like when Scarlett Johansson was like going to play a transgender in a movie, everybody attacked her because she's not actually transgender. It's like, okay, she's acting.
Because if we had people who were playing the roles that they actually were,
whenever there's I don't mean to cut you off, but whenever there's like a movie about gay people that comes out, most of the time those actors aren't actually gay in the movie.
Right.
And nobody cares.
I know. And even in some trans thing, a lot of trans people aren't actually trans in some trans movies.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of trans actors out there.
No, they just use male or female and say that they were trans.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. This is all dumb. It's all dumb to me.
It's all dumb. This needs to stop.
People need to quit getting offended about things that don't matter.
Exactly.
Like, it's not affecting your day-to-day life. Drop it.
It's not. And I love how people like think that actors have some sort of importance or like responsibility to like say something. They don't. They get paid to act and to pretend in movies. They don't have to say shit. They don't have any responsibility other than to do their job.
Yeah. And there's a weird thing going on with the NBA right now, saying that like, oh, we shouldn't play because it's going to take away from the Black Lives Matter movement.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because they're saying the media is going to be talking about that instead of the Black Lives Matter movement. And it's just like,
I mean, yeah, that's what happens.
You can also use your platform that you have to talk about the Black Lives Matter movement.
Or you just do your job. And
or you could just do your job and play basketball and entertain people.
Like guess what? Like, yeah, the Black Lives Matter thing is happening, but the world moves on. There's all kinds of shit going on right now while that's happening.
In a year from now, it'll probably still be happening, but it won't be as hard as it is right now for black.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless another death happens in a year from now. Then
And I can guarantee you that I'm probably like one of the only people who can like say this and get away with it. Because like, if a white person was saying all this, they'd be like, "You fucking racist. You just hate black people."
I'm all for the Black Lives Matter movement, though. Like,
I mean, I'm not.
I'm all for it. Nobody deserves to die or anything like that.
No, but Black Lives Matter is all about like, hey, fuck white people.
It's not. It's more about equality or whatever, which I understand.
No, nobody wants equality. Like nobody in general wants equality. I've like the amount of black people I've talked to, they don't like white people.
That's fine. That's their opinion. That was our political segment of the podcast.
The only time we've ever really gotten like into like real shit on this podcast. I don't like it.
Is that all your TV news? Because I got some juicy TV news over here.
See, next up, speaking of pretty much, yeah. But it ties into our next thing about Marvel news. I posted about this a little bit on Snapchat. What?
Oh, the Anthony. Are you talking about Anthony Mackie?
Yeah, the whole Anthony Mackie fucking is like upset about Marvel and how everyone's white. There's never been a fucking black person in any of these movies, apparently. According to Anthony Mackie.
I was gonna say, for one, I don't believe that everybody on the crew.
No, because it's not true. Because he mentioned stunt people, and I was like, all right, here's the thing. You have a stunt person. You're a black man.
Black.
Your stunt guy is not a white guy. And also, Sam Jackson probably had a stunt person. It was probably not a white guy because he's a black man.
I've seen interviews with the guy who is like Chadwick Boseman's stunt double. He's black.
He's a black man.
So
you were both in a movie together. Did you forget about that, Anthony Mackie?
And he was saying about how like Black Panther had an all black crew, and I'm like, I'm sure that's probably was a thing. I'm not denying that.
No, that was true. The whole like, and this is what I've talked about several times since that fucking movie came out. That Black Panther, the whole like selling point behind that movie was, hey, everybody's black. The cast is black, the crew's black, director's black, writer's black, everybody's black.
We got one white guy. No, we got two white guys.
We got two white guys farting around. We got three technically if you count the after credit scene.
Yeah, that's true.
We got three white guys just farting around being goobers. And he was talking about how he finds that a little bit more racist because it's like, okay, so black people are only good enough for the black movie, not the white movie. And I totally agree with that. I think that's bullshit either way. But like Black Panther was totally like a marketing thing. Like they did that because that would get butts and seats. Oh, it's a black movie made by black people. Like, oh man, blah, blah, blah. Because if you got the two crusty old white boys who did Avengers Infinity War, that they can't capture black culture, properly on screen, even though everything in Black Panther was made up.
Imagine the uproar if Ryan Coogler is fired tomorrow and they replace him in Black Panther 2 for a white woman. What do you think would happen?
I don't think there would be backlash for that because she's a woman and everybody be like, oh, yay, women.
What if it was an old white man?
There'd be backlash for that.
You think so?
But like, it depends on who it was, though. Because if it was like, if it was like Tarantino or some shit, I'd be like, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, that'd be awesome.
What if it was like Steven Spielberg or something?
No, he'd fuck that movie up. He'd make it like Ready Player One. I wouldn't want that. I'd be with everybody else. I'd be screaming at Marvel about that.
I understand where Anthony Mackie's coming from, but if they didn't do that, there would be backlash from that too. So
yeah, that's part of the problem with movie making in general. Is that like because it's the same thing with like Wonder Woman and like Captain Marvel and stuff, where it's like the women have to make the women movie. Yeah. And that seems to be like the norm now, and everyone seems to be kind of okay with that. And I think that's kind of not okay. Because like if you look at something like Civil War, right? Civil War was directed by two crusty old white boys, the Russo brothers. Black Panther and Civil War is one of the best versions of Black Panther in anything ever. And you look at Black Panther, the movie, and he's so fucking boring and uninteresting and kind of a Mary Sue in that movie.
It making
that movie was and he's making terrible, cringy,
which is not what Black Panther does.
Exactly. And that movie was made by a black man. So like you kind of have to look at it as like, you know, who's better at like, and it's you know, I'm not saying anything about Ryan Coogler's like ability to make a movie. He's made great movies. Creed's fucking awesome. But I think maybe he probably isn't like as big of a fan of Black Panther maybe as the Russo brothers were. Or maybe he's not used to making big budget blockbusters like the Russos were. And they know how to make that work. Get whoever's best for the job. None of this matters. If you want to get a transgender Hispanic woman to direct Black Panther 2, get her. If she can make a kick-ass movie, get her. I don't like, she doesn't have to be a strong black woman or a black man to make this fucking movie. Like you could make this movie, Devin. Like
I couldn't make that movie. No.
Anybody can make this fucking movie.
Have you seen the Marvel Roundtable thing?
No.
It's where a lot of the big directors.
I've seen those roundtable videos, but I haven't seen that one.
Well, there's a Marvel one for the MCU, and Ryan Coogler's in it, and he's talking about how he was really nervous coming onto the scene because he hadn't made that big of a movie ever before, and it kind of shows in Black Panther, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think he was I think he was a good choice, but I think he either should have made a smaller movie or they should have maybe tested the waters with a different character, because he definitely in Black Panther, he's really good with the small character moments, but when it becomes like a big dumb action movie, it's not very good.
And I was also going to say that he had the movie right before Infinity War.
Yeah, exactly.
Also probably not the best place to put his movie.
Yeah, with also another good version of Black Panther directed by white guys.
I mean, you can see the difference between when you jump from Civil War, Black Panther to Infinity War. There's a clear difference between all three.
It's a different character in all three movies.
But, you know, because I know in Infinity War, the Russos were trying to tie it in a little bit to what Ryan Coogler was doing, but they were making the movies at the same time. So it was kind of hard. That's why they had like the purple suit and all that stuff. And I think they threw some more jokes in Infinity War just because they knew Ryan Coogler was doing some more jokes in Black Panther.
They didn't make Black Panther quippy in Infinity War. He made like one joke, and it was like, "Oh, Mark Ruffalo, you goofy. We don't bow here." Like, that was it.
I mean, he didn't talk a lot in the movie, which he shouldn't. Black Panther is kind of a quiet person.
Yeah, he's kind of like Batman. He kind of doesn't say much.
So, but I understand where Anthony Mack is coming from, but I also think he should just shut up. And
to a point, I get it, but at the same time, it's just like, why does this matter?
It doesn't.
Why does this matter? And people also need to realize that like filmmaking and stuff, and people being into filmmaking and acting and all that stuff, that's not exactly something that was like super popular in Black culture. Like there are a lot of Black people who are into movies and stuff like that, but that's not super. It's like skiing. When's the last time you saw a black skier?
Even today, there's
sometimes there are just things that certain people aren't into. Like that's just gonna happen. And yeah, there's a lot of white people in the film industry, probably because white people like making movies. Like, sorry, like that's just how that works.
It is.
Why are there a lot of Black people playing basketball? Probably because a lot of Black people like playing basketball. That's not a racist thing. That's true. Look at the NBA. It's predominantly Black, right?
Yep. I don't know. It's dumb to me. Because he's sitting there making his relatively good movies and making millions, so I don't know why he's complaining.
Yeah, just take your money. And he was complaining that like he was a lead. Like one of the quotes he said was like, "Oh, I'm a lead in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it's so weird because everybody else around me is white." And I'm like, for one, why is that weird? If you're weirded out by being around people who don't look like you, that's a problem with you, Anthony.
Maybe you're the racist, Anthony.
Maybe you're the racist, buddy. But also, you're the lead.
Yeah, you just got given reins to be Captain America in the MCU.
Yeah, you're gonna be Captain fucking America, and you're gonna be a Black Captain America. That like this is your chance to like do exactly what you're talking about, but instead you're talking about the wrong issue.
Like this is like the perfect time to do this, honestly, to show Captain America can be Black. Like it's like,
to show that any of these superheroes can be Black, because that's the entire point of a superhero. Is that it could be anybody.
They need to do freaking Miles Morales now. Just bring him in. Just do it. Make him Spider-Man.
They will, and they'll market that as a Black movie as well. just like they did Black Panther. Oh, we care about black people. No, you care about making money.
I can't remember. Was it you or Dylan who was talking about how I hate how all black movies have the hip hop?
It was me, because I hate that. I fucking hate that. And it's not movies. TV shows do it too. Because when I made that post, there was a TV show on that starred black people in it, and it was like it was a black show. Like everyone in it was black. The cast was black. The crew was black. Like this was a black fucking show, and all of the music, every bit of music in it was like hip hop. And I'm like I understand hip hop is like a part of black culture, but so is like soul music, so is R&B, so is reggae, so is like Motown and shit. Like we're just gonna throw all of that out the door.
What do you think made that popular? Because the first thing that comes to my mind is Fresh Prince, to be honest.
Fresh Prince had like goofy hip hop in it though. That wasn't
it was the 90s hip hop at the time.
I mean, I guess it might have been Fresh Prince, but I don't know.
That's the earliest I can think of it.
I don't know. Well, I think that's just kind of just like, not to get too into like real shit on this podcast, but like, I feel like that's just the thing with black culture in general is that like, oh, it's hip hop. And like, if you don't listen to hip hop, you ain't black. But it's like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And that's if you think that way, that's an arrogant fucking, that's an ignorant fucking thing to say.
Are you into hip hop?
I'm into some hip hop. But I'm also into fucking country, and I'm also into like reggae, and I'm also into like pop music and shit.
You're into jazz?
Just exclusively listen to hip hop. Yes, jazz is great.
I love some good jazz music.
And if you want to represent black culture, maybe throw a little jazz in there with the hip hop instead of just having fucking hip hop. I guarantee there's going to be hip hop in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. How much do you want to bet right now? There's going to be some hip hop in that fucking show. Every time fucking Anthony Mackie's black fucking face shows up.
No, I'm going to bet you on that because I don't think there will.
I think there's going to be a little bit. They're gonna have the traditional Captain America story, and then have like a little hip hop flair, because that's what they did with fucking Black Panther.
Nah, I'll bet you $5 on that.
All right, let's make that bet right now.
It's on the internet.
On the internet, $5.
We'll see if Falcon and Winter Soldier ever actually comes out.
I don't think they can resist not doing that.
I don't think they will, personally.
I think they will.
Back to getting off of politics. Finally,
getting back to goofy stuff. That was all the Marvel news that I really had.
We forgot about my TV news though. You went just right into the Marvel.
What was your TV news?
It's actually about The Last of Us show.
Oh shit! I think I might have saw something about this.
So Troy Baker, who voices Joel in the video game, has given his blessing to who he wants to be Joel in The Last of Us.
So this isn't official. This is just who he wants.
This is who he says he wants. Josh Brolin.
I fucking said Josh Brolin a while ago.
I know.
And the fact that he's saying this, he'll probably will it into existence. So that's a good choice.
You still want Hugh Jackman, though.
I would still prefer Hugh Jackman because Hugh Jackman would fucking knock that out of the park. But if we can't get Hugh Jackman because he's just refusing to act anymore, Josh Brolin's probably like the next best thing.
Who do you get to play Ellie, though?
I don't know. I don't have a catalog of 14-year-old actresses.
The first person that came to my head is the X-Men chick. I don't know her name.
Sophie Turner?
No.
Who's the X-Men chick?
Is her name Ellen Page or something?
Oh, Ellen Page? She's like 45.
But she looks young, and she reminds me of Ellie.
She looks like a 40-year-old woman.
She reminds me of Ellie for some reason.
Because she kind of looks like her.
Yeah.
We need like a kid. If we're getting an old man to play an old man, we got to get a kid to play a kid. All right.
Oh, no, I think Ellen Page would be great.
That's how acting works.
No, screw you. We just talked about that.
I don't know. I think she's a little too old for it. I think maybe like 10 years ago she might have been like cool with it, but I think she's a little too old for it now.
But yeah, that was on my TV news. I'm excited for the Last of Us series. I hope it's good.
I fucking hope. I'm interested because I hope it's not just the game. I hope it's not just the game again, just in a TV show format. I hope it's something different.
What I took from this news also is that this show is about Joel. It's not about something else in the Last of Us world.
Yeah, it's gonna be the story.
But we didn't really know if it was going to be about Joel or if it was going to be about like just some other people in the Last of Us world that are tied into.
It would have been smart if it was just like a random one-off story. Would have been awesome if it was about Sam and Henry.
That'd been cool.
Like their journey leading up to the game. Fuck.
Maybe it's about Joel and Tommy before their fallout.
Why are we making shows? All right, that sounds awesome. I make a Sam and Henry Last of Us show. All right.
Do you think they'll be in the show?
If it's gonna be the game, then yeah, they're gonna have to, because that's a very important part of the first game.
It is. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait until more information comes out.
Who do you want to play Tommy? I say Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. You know what? I was thinking about Bradley Cooper as
Bradley Cooper with his like Rocket Raccoon hair.
I was thinking of him from A Star Is Born.
Oh yeah,
like that whole getup. I bet that's Tom.
When he's the most Rocket Raccoon, that's what we're going for.
I don't know if he'd do a TV show. Has Bradley Cooper done a TV show before?
I don't know. I don't see
I
why
think
not.
you could also get Brad Pitt. To be honest, I think Brad Pitt could do it.
I don't know. Just he's probably really expensive to get right now.
Probably, but I think it'd be cool to get Brad Pitt.
He could do it. I would love Brad Pitt. He's also like way too cool and like handsome. You gotta get someone with a little grit.
Tommy's a pretty like chill dude. He doesn't go crazy that
He's
much.
cool. No, I'm not saying like a crazy person, but I'm just saying like he's like cool. Like Brad Pitt walks into a room, you're like, that fuck's cool.
I don't know. If he got his long hair from like World War Z or something, like I could see that.
Maybe.
I
can see him, like I can picture him like in the getup being Tommy or whatever. I just think he's like too cool.
He's too cool. You're too cool. You can't be in this show.
Imagine Brad Pitt's like, hey, I'll do this. No, you're too cool, bro.
We can't afford you. Yeah.
You're too cool for this shit. We can't afford you. He's like, no, I literally did Deadpool 2 for like a cup of coffee. Like, I'll do this fucking show. No problem. Now you're too cool.
Especially if they do the game, he won't be in it that much. So
you can probably max the beginning of the first episode and then like another episode.
That's it. I don't know. I'm excited though. I want to know the whole cast before like I know anything about the show.
Yeah, that's gonna be the most interesting thing. Because if you're getting Josh Brolin, we could have a pretty hefty cast.
We don't know if we're getting Josh Brolin. That's just who that guy wants.
No, but if we are getting Josh Brolin, if we're getting Josh Brolin, Ryan Reynolds is gonna be in this fucking thing somewhere.
I don't know if that guy has any say in anything with the show. Probably not. So
he probably doesn't, but I feel like because Neil Druckmann, I think, has some involvement with the show, and he created the game, and he wrote and directed the game as well.
They're like involvement. He's like the creator for the show or whatever. He's the show.
They're like best buds, so I feel like maybe he's gonna be like, "Hey, Troy Baker, who do you want to play Joel on the show?"
Maybe. But does Josh Brolin do TV? Does he do TV?
Doesn't matter if they do TV. He's an actor. You pay him money, and he'll do something.
Some people are like, I only do movies.
Those people are dumb.
I don't know.
Actually, those people are smart because movies are better.
They make more money.
They make more money, and they're easier to watch. They're not 15 hours long.
But jumping into my Marvel news, going back to Marvel.
Shit.
We jumped. I only have one thing. It's about Deadpool 3.
Oh, I saw this. I forgot to add this to my thing, but
I think you saw it, but did you see that it was supposed to be Deadpool kills the Marvel universe?
Yeah.
I think that's what you saw. Well, this is actually supposed to kill the Fox Marvel universe. Is more.
I saw it was like Ryan Reynolds. Right, he pitched Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, and then somebody commented, "Oh, it'd be cool if it was like the Fox universe or whatever."
Well, I've heard that whoever he pitched it to is leaning more towards the Fox one, which I think would be kind of funny.
That's dumb though. Make it the Marvel because in the Fox X-Men, you got Daredevil, you got Fantastic Four, you got like Wolverine. Like that's it. You kill 3 people. Like fuck you.
Well, they can't do like Tony Stark or Captain America because Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. aren't coming back.
Why not?
Because they ain't coming back.
There's no way this is gonna be canon to anything anyway. Just bring him back. Put him in a fucking.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be like a movie where he's like jumping through different universes, and he's like, it just murders everybody. Then he jumps into the Marvel universe.
Pay Robert Downey Jr. a day. Give him $500,000 for 1 day of filming. He didn't even have to wear anything because his suit's CG anyway. Or you don't even have to have him on set. Have him in the full Iron Man suit. That's
I guess
CG.
You could do that, and you could do the same thing with Cap. Just have his back to the camera.
You could do the same thing, yeah. You don't have to get these people there. Like, they have enough footage of these people to recreate them all entirely CG.
How would you feel about this movie though? Because it wouldn't connect to anything. It'd just be this weird one-off story.
Well, I'm telling you right now, this movie won't happen.
If it did,
Disney's in charge. If it did, that'd be amazing. I think this would be the perfect thing for Deadpool 3 because Deadpool 2 kind of set up like dimension traveling and time traveling and stuff like that. And this would be a perfect like way to utilize that where he's just hopping to different time periods or different, universes and stuff, just murdering Marvel characters. That'd be a lot of fun.
I could totally see it, to be honest. Especially if they're keeping it rated R and they're keeping it under the Fox whatever.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is the same thing with when WB Games put out Mortal Kombat versus DC, where it's like Mortal Kombat is rated M. They're not going to let a Mortal Kombat character rip Superman in half and have his like organs and shit come out and be all bloody and shit. So they made that like a T-rated game, and it was really dumb. Same thing with Deadpool. They're not going to let Deadpool run around and violently murder all of these iconic characters that kids love.
Hey, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Oh my God, you just blew his brains out.
Oh my God, you shot him in the face and his brains were everywhere. They're not going to let.
Yeah, I understand where that's coming from.
It'd be great if they did, but they're not going to.
Apparently,
if they do that, I could totally see. There's a bug on my monitor. If they do that, I could totally see them doing the Fox universe, but that would be lame because it's just the X-Men and like that's it.
Yeah. I don't know, but
unless Hugh Jackman had a cameo in it, then that'd actually be really cool.
Apparently, Deadpool 3 is still being written, and it's being written by Marvel Studios, so I'm sure it has something to do with the MCU. If I had to guess,
I hope not. I hope it's just a fucking Deadpool movie.
I don't know.
He doesn't need to be a part of the MCU, at least not like crucial to the MCU. He can show up in a movie and just be like, "Hey, I'm Deadpool," blah, blah, blah. And that's it. He doesn't. I don't know. Like. I don't want Iron Man flying around in Deadpool 3.
I have a feeling Marvel kind of knows this. I think they're kind of feeling the same way.
Do they, though?
Well, I mean, you can't put everybody in the freaking movie together, so you're going to have to keep some people separate. Just keep Deadpool separate.
I know, but I feel like now they're like, fuck, we have Deadpool, and he's made like $1 billion. Let's put Deadpool with Spider-Man, and we'll make all the money in the world.
Or
like that, their mind is on the money.
They're thinking, let's just not change anything because Deadpool's already making money. We don't have to change it.
Yeah, but if we make it PG-13, kids can see it and they'll make even more money.
No. I think they tested that with Deadpool 2 and it didn't make a lot of money. So
that was like a limited thing and it was dumb.
It was dumb. That's why nobody saw
it. Well, yeah, that's true. I have faith Disney won't fuck it up, but I also have faith that Disney will fuck it up. So we'll have to wait and see.
I don't have faith in Disney, but I have faith in Marvel Studios.
I have faith in Kevin Feige because I guarantee you Kevin Feige's like, we need this to be rated R. And Disney's probably like, no, we're not going to do that. And he's like, fuck you, we're doing it.
If they just don't have the Disney logo pop up over.
Put the Disney logo. It's not like a kid's going to stumble into Deadpool 3 and be like, oh, it's a Disney movie, and then just see all this violent murder. People going to this movie are going to know what type of movie this is. It's not going to tarnish the Disney brand.
Just put Fox in front of it. It'll be fine.
Just have the happy Disney logo in front of this dark fucking movie. No, they could do something really fun with that where Deadpool comes out and he does some shit with the Disney logo. Like that'd be fun. Yeah. Do something creative with it, Disney. Jesus, have a little sense of humor by yourself. Fox did for a little bit
before they sold their company to you.
Exactly.
But
just have fun with these fucking movies, all right?
You ready to get into DC news?
DC news. This is a big fucking week.
It was a big week for DC.
This blew my brain out of my butt.
I think I know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
Like all of this fucking news. First, speaking of Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds may have a cameo in the Snyder Cut.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does because I just feel like that'd be weird. But
here's my issue with it. People who don't know talking about he might be Green Lantern in the Snyder Cut. Does that make Green Lantern canon to the DCEU, or is this Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern that's not that Green Lantern?
I mean, it could, but seeing as how they've introduced all the multiverse stuff to the live action sort of like universe, and everything's kind of connected in its own weird way, it could it could be canon, but not really be canon. He could just be a different Green Lantern from a different universe or different Earth in this fucking DC extended universe. I think I don't think this is true just because there was a Green Lantern cast for Justice League who's not Ryan Reynolds.
He was supposed to show up at the end, right?
He was supposed to be in the movie. So maybe people are getting it confused with that, or maybe Ryan Reynolds is maybe in that big battle scene with Darkseid. Maybe Ryan Reynolds is fucking in it for some fucking reason.
I think
he was Green Lantern, and that he's like passing the torch to the next one or whatever.
I think if Ryan Reynolds was like on set, maybe, but he wasn't Green Lantern. Like maybe he was like a cameo in as somebody else.
He might be a cameo. That'd be a weird cameo to have.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe people are like, oh, he was on set and they're talking about Green Lantern, put it together.
That's totally possible. He walked past the place where they were shooting something, and someone saw him there and was like, "Oh, he's in the movie."
Daniel Craig was in Star Wars for like 2 seconds. So
it's very true.
Like it's not like out of the realm of disbelief.
It's very true. If they're gonna do that, I want Ryan Reynolds in a Green Lantern shirt.
He's playing
like a Sheldon shirt.
The DCEU.
That could be fun too. What if when they let Deadpool 2 use Green Lantern, like the name and everything? What if they're like, all right, cool. You gotta be in our movie as Deadpool. That'd be so fucking cool.
That'd be insane. I think I would poop in the theater.
Oh, man, that'd be amazing. He's so cool, man.
Well, I guess it won't be in the theater when I watch it. I'll poop on my couch whenever I watch. I'll poop next to you because I'll probably be sitting next to you when it comes out.
If you're gonna do that, at least wear a diaper or something.
Nope. I'll pull my pants down and fling it on you right then and there.
Disgusting.
Like
I'll be too distracted watching amazingness for 4 hours.
All right, continue the trend. I know you got more great news.
A lot more. Apparently, the Flash movie's still happening.
Yeah.
And they've confirmed for the most part it's gonna be not 100% Flashpoint, but a version of Flashpoint. And with that, Michael Keaton, the Vulture himself, the Birdman himself, is coming back as the goddamn Batman. This is fucking so cool.
Is this setting up Batman Beyond?
I don't know. They haven't really talked about.
I think that it is. That's my opinion.
It could be. That would be. I want a Batman Beyond movie so fucking much.
Like whenever I heard that news, I'm like, they are setting up Batman Beyond.
I don't know. Like the one thing that scares me about a Batman Beyond movie is the suit and what the Batman Beyond suit's going to look like in a live action setting. Because I really don't want them to fuck it up.
I don't care. I just hope the movie would be good if they did it.
Yeah, but I want the suit to be good. Don't fuck up the Batman Beyond suit. But also they've confirmed that Michael Keaton is going to be like in the Batman suit, which is weird because he's like 80 fucking years old.
He was in the Vulture suit and he didn't look weird.
Yeah, but this is Batman. Batman as an 80-year-old man would be very like fucked up and like disfigured and have like no cartilage in his fucking legs. All right, like there's no way he's walking around as Batman still in his fucking 80s.
Well, this is what I've heard. It's like to the Michael Keaton thing is that Keaton's Batman could be the DCEU's Nick Fury. That's what I've heard.
I've heard that too, which is strange because does that mean he's just gonna leave his fucking universe and just be like, all right, cool, I'll just stay in this new timeline now?
I don't know.
That's very strange.
And does that mean that like he's gonna be like, where's the Batman in this universe? And they're gonna be like,
he's just gone. Like we don't know. We haven't seen him in like 6 years. We don't fucking know.
He was an alcoholic and depressed. We haven't seen him.
But see, they could, if they were smart, use Flashpoint to write out Ben Affleck from the DCEU.
I think they will, but
which that's possibly what they're doing. But you kind of need Ben Affleck in the movie still in order to do that, because you can't just be like, all right, Batman's just gone.
They're gonna do the Superman thing and Shazam.
Fuck you! No, don't do that. Pay Ben Affleck for a day and just shoot his ass for a day.
He ain't.
Like, all you got to do.
He's not doing it. He's not coming back.
That's all you got to do. He. I'm sure he would love to come back and be Batman again in a real shit movie. Pay him $500 to just come back for a day, 20 minutes.
But we're talking like the Flash is going to be good. What if it's not good?
Doesn't matter. You get to be Batman again, motherfucker.
I don't know.
Batman that everyone likes.
Now they didn't initially.
Yeah. And we're gonna replace you in the same movie.
They're gonna pull the Harrison Ford. I'll come back, but I'm not gonna cut
my fucking hair.
I ain't cutting my hair. I'll do the fucking scene, but I'm not cutting my hair. Your hair is like really long, and you look like a bum.
And I would probably say that too. I'm not cutting my fucking hair.
And they'll be like, "That's fine. You can just wear the mask."
I'm going to the fucking gym.
I'm gonna eat my donuts on set.
It's gonna be bad as fuck. I'd be totally fine with that because you can shoot around that. CG some abs on them, all right?
CG is weight off.
Exactly.
They can make Nick Cage buff and Ghost Rider. They can make anybody.
Fucking exactly, all right? You can do anything. Computers are wonderful.
It's all the DC news I have those, but so
there's also possibly, maybe, sort of, might be true news that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to be in this Flashpoint movie as well.
I've heard this, and I hope that it's true. I think it is true. I want to say it is true.
I think it's true that he's going to be in it, but I've also heard things that Batman isn't going to be in it though. Like him as like suiting up as Batman won't be in it though. So
he's just going to be Thomas Wayne, but not Batman. Yeah. Well, that's kind of stupid.
That would be a huge missed opportunity. If you're like, that's the only time you ever use that Batman is in Flashpoint. Right. So like, if you don't do that, you fucked up. And this movie's going to be a horrible
Warner Brothers, which Warner Brothers has done before. So I'm not going to be surprised if it happens.
But like, if all of this is true, this is awesome. I would love to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. I would love a third Tim Burton Batman movie with Michael Keaton.
You could bring Tim Burton back to make another Batman.
Why not? Why not?
Because that's just dumb.
That's not dumb.
It's kind of dumb.
Batman 89 and Batman Returns are fucking awesome. Tim Burton knows how to make an awesome Batman movie.
Is he gonna make Batman Beyond though?
He'd have to, because Michael Keaton's fucking a dinosaur.
I don't want that.
I want a Batman Beyond movie directed by Tim Burton.
I want a Batman Beyond movie, but I don't want Tim Burton directing it.
I think that'd be so fucking cool. Because he's kind of obsessed with CG now, like every old filmmaker is. But I think a Batman Beyond movie should be like a CG filled like nightmare of like Tim Burton's style. It could be like just fucking like perfect for that.
I don't see it. I don't see the vision.
Because Batman Beyond is kind of weird, and you need a weirdo to make that movie work, and he's a weirdo.
I don't want it.
Make it happen. That's the only thing I'll care about from here on out.
Is Michael Keaton just hopping universes now, though?
I mean, he's just having the time of his life. He's just enjoying all this shit, man.
Like, he's in the MCU. He's in the Spider-Man universe in Sony, and now he's in the DCEU.
Yeah, and he's technically in two DC. He's in two Marvel universes, technically, maybe sort of, and he's technically in two DC universes now. He's fucking loving all this shit, man.
Is he gonna be in like Star Wars next? Like,
put Michael Keaton in a fucking Star Wars movie, all right? But make him like he would make a really awesome like smuggler.
I could totally see them throwing him in like the Mandalorian or something. I could totally see that.
Make him like an old Han Solo. He'd be so good. He'd be like, oh, Michael Keaton, and I got a gun.
Wrinkly face.
Yeah. Make him a villain. Fuck.
He's teaming up with Gus.
Oh my god. Do that, and I'll love The Mandalorian season 2. Outright. You get Michael Keaton and fucking Gus. Fucking hey, man. You get the Batman and Gustavo.
And that's where you'd poop right then and there.
Shit's so hard. What? No, fuck. What if he's the voice of Baby Yoda?
You want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
No, stop.
Oh, that'd be weird.
Michael Keaton.
Because he's got like a scratchy...
Exactly. He's got an old man voice.
He's supposed to be like a baby.
But that baby's like 100 years old.
He's 50 years old.
50. All right. He sounds like a 50-year-old man.
He's still a baby.
That's dumb. Star Wars logic works different than ours. He can have an old scratchy voice.
That baby's gonna talk on the show.
Talk. And I want him to have an old man voice.
I want Derek to be his voice. That's what I want.
Oh my god. He'd be screaming about Nazis.
I didn't know
his first word would be Hail Hitler.
That's what he's gonna yell. He's gonna yell. He didn't understand the ending to Black Panther.
Oh, Black Panther, what does it mean?
Was it me? What happened?
Like, don't worry about it, Derek. It's about black people. All right.
That's a great inside joke that no one will know if they watch this podcast.
Derek's probably sitting there right now, if he's even watching this, being like, "Hey, that's not funny."
He's sitting there going like, "I understand the end," because he's told me before. He's like, "I understand it. You don't have to keep messing."
Quiz him about the end and see if he fucking understands it.
I will.
I don't think he does.
Next time I see him, I'll be like, "What happened at the end?" I don't know.
Like, oh, black people. You're like, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much.
Chadwick Boseman said some things.
Black Panther did a thing. It's like, well, yeah,
did a thing. Somebody got shot. Somebody got stabbed. I don't know.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Oh, he wouldn't be wrong.
So we doing the topic?
Are we doing the topic? I don't know.
What is the topic that we're fucking talking about? I forgot.
I'll ask you the question then.
Shit.
What makes a good movie? Or a
This
movie
is something that I've thought about quite often.
It's been debated for millennia.
I don't know about that long.
Not a millennia. Decades.
Film's only 100 years old.
Decades.
What do you think?
All right. In my opinion, I thought about this for a couple of days when we talked about what we would be doing. And it's kind of a hard thing to answer, to be honest, because what I consider a good movie may not be a good movie to somebody else. But my biggest things are a good story, something that like keeps me entertained and interested throughout the movie. Maybe not throughout the entire movie. It doesn't have to be the entire movie to be good, but something that has an overall narrative that has, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a good payoff, I guess, at the end. Something that has a decent payoff.
Like the whole thing is worthwhile.
It was worth it, yeah. Even like a movie, like we were talking about Inception, like that ending is like up in the air. You can do whatever, you can think whatever you want about it, but I think it's kind of worth it. You find out the whole story and then you can make up what you want at the end, which is okay. That's fine. But it also, I think, has to be visually appealing, because like bad CGI will make a bad movie bad or a good movie bad. Like you have to be watching a movie and thinking like visually it looks at least decent. And then if it looks great CGI can make a bad movie good, which is in the case of like Avatar. A lot of people like that movie because of the CGI.
That's still a bad movie. Fuck it.
It's still a bad movie, but a lot of people think it's a lot better because of the CGI.
Probably.
So I think if you combine those two things, that's how you can make a great movie, to be honest. That's my opinion on it.
But see, the ultimate question kind of goes back to what you said at the beginning, where, you know, you said something about like, well, you know, what I think is a good movie, someone else might not find it as a good movie. Are you in the camp that art is like subjective?
Yes.
Okay. Because I've thought about this as well, because this is something that I kind of go back and forth on this sometimes, because I think there is such a thing as a good movie, like an inherently good movie.
That like everybody universally is like, that's good.
Well, because I think there's a difference between liking something and something being a good or bad movie. Yeah. Because you can like a bad movie, but it's still a bad movie.
Right.
And you can not like a good movie, but it's still a good movie. There's a lot of movies out there that I don't really give a shit about, that I don't like, but I can acknowledge that they're good movies and they're well made. But is that actually like a good movie though? Or is it just a movie that I don't really care for?
That's a good question. But what makes a movie good for you though? I
think what makes a movie good is how it's made. If it's made properly, if it's with the director's vision, if it's everything, coming together and the director made what he wanted or she wanted, whatever. And it's well made, well shot, well, whatever. If it's a fucking movie, because there are a lot of movies you watch where you're like, this is just a scrambled mess of nonsense. If it's shot well, if it's acted well, if it's, well produced, if the editing in it is, well done, I think that's a good movie, because it's sort of like, if you look at a building, right? If you build a building a certain way, it's a well-built building. There's a right way to build a building and a wrong way to build a building. There's no subjective way to build a building. You either do it right or you don't. You don't have to like how that building's built, but that doesn't mean that the way it's built is wrong. Because if you build it wrong, it's going to collapse. And I think that sort of also applies to movies.
So building off of what you just said, a movie like, I know it's like your favorite movie, The Dark Tower. It kind of checks those boxes.
It's a well-made movie. It's got, production value to it.
But does that
I don't like it. But see, that's the thing. I don't know.
Because when you say a good movie, I immediately thought, we'll make a movie that I would like. But now that you're saying that, I mean, like, if you're talking about just like what makes a movie, then yeah, it's just kind of like you check some boxes type thing.
But do you think that that's like an appropriate thing? Like, do you think that I'm right or I'm wrong?
No, I don't think that you're wrong or right, but I don't think that's how you judge if a movie is good or not. I think there's more to it. I think there's more to just this. It has these things in it, and that makes it a good movie.
What else do you think makes, like, do you have to have in it for it to be a good movie?
Well, I mean, like you said, it can't be a scrambled mess, for one. But there are movies that are kind of scrambled messes that are considered a good movie. Like when we talk about the French films, they are kind of shot out of order.
But that's a specific, if the intention of the film, like Pulp Fiction, Tarantino went into that movie knowing that he was going to do it that way. That's not like a scrambled, like incoherent mess, because that movie was meant to be that way and it works, and the story kind of works in that style. Same thing with foreign movies. Foreign movies are shot a little bit differently, but if that's how the filmmaker intended it, and if that was their ultimate goal, I don't think that's like I think that kind of inherently makes it a well-made movie. So
when you say that, let's talk about like the first cut of Blade Runner. Is that a bad movie because that's not what the director intended?
I mean, the first cut of Blade Runner isn't very good anyway. I'd probably say yeah.
A bad movie. What about the other cuts? Because there's other cuts that the director didn't do, but there's like 7.
That's where it gets kind of dicey, because there's multiple cuts of movies, and I like some cuts of movies and I don't like other cuts of movies. That's where it gets fucking confusing, and in my opinion, kind of falls apart.
Because there's the Superman argument too. There's 2 cuts of Superman 2, right?
Yeah.
So is one considered a good movie and one's considered bad just because one's the director's cut?
I don't think either of them is bad, but I think it's more about preference. I think it's more of a, just what you prefer, because one's a little more serious and one's a little bit more comedic, but I don't think either of them are like bad. I think they're both well made and well shot, and they're both iconic in their own ways.
I see what you're saying.
But that's also where it kind of gets into it, where it's like, is it just an opinionated thing, or do you think that like there is such a thing as something being good and something being bad, or do you think it's all like opinions?
I mean, I think it's a lot more of opinions, to be honest. But I was gonna say, do you think characters in a movie matter in making a good or bad movie?
I think to a point, because I think if you have bad characters in a movie, you're with these bad characters for 2 hours.
Because like if you're if you have bad characters, yes, it's not gonna be likable. But what if you have like unrelatable characters, but they're not bad characters?
I think having relatable characters, I think a lot of people kind of like I think a lot of people misuse that word, and they think that having a relatable character inherently makes that a good character. There's a lot of I can't relate to fucking Deadpool. Deadpool's a crazy mercenary who just kills people like just cause, but I like him.
But there's other people in that movie that you can relate to. But what if you had an entire movie that was all unrelatable characters? Would that be a bad movie?
I mean, it could. Doesn't inherently mean it will, but it's possible. You can also have a movie with relatable characters that can be bad.
True. How about this? How easy is it to make a good movie?
And that's another thing where I kind of say that like making a good movie is kind of like there's a good movie and a bad movie, because I think the fact that like any movie's good is kind of a fucking like miracle. Because if you really like get into how movies are made, I don't think most movies should even be good. Like a lot of great movies, a lot of classic movies were kind of accidents.
Because like there's a movie I'm thinking about right now. I think it was called 12 Bridges or 21 Bridges. It's kind of new with Chadwick Boseman in it.
Oh yeah. I think it's 21 Bridges.
It's the most like mediocre film I can think of, but it's not bad. But it's not really good either. So like where do those?
It's just mediocre then.
So like it's a neither.
It's just like a whatever movie.
It's just a whatever. So there's the three categories.
But that's the thing though, because that's again where my argument kind of falls apart. Because you do have those movies that are just like whatever.
They're a movie that like.
But is that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say those are movies that are like, if I hadn't seen it, I'm not like missing anything. But when I do see it, I'm not gaining anything from watching it either.
But see, that's also that also could just be an opinionaid thing.
It is.
It's like it's not for you, but is it? Like a good movie though.
Out there that's like 21 Bridges is a great movie, and that's their opinion.
But I'm saying like, is there? Because when you look at a car or if you look at a building, there's a right way to make it and a wrong way to make it. And if you make it right, that's a well-built, good car. It runs perfectly. It runs whatever. Does that same sort of philosophy and tactic apply to movies?
I don't think so, because not every movie's the same. Whereas a car or a building, they can all be the same, and it's not going to make a big deal. I think you got to compare it more to a painting, to be honest. Because somebody can do all the strokes right, but does that make a good painting? I think that's more. I think that's the better comparison.
But I mean, there's. I understand what you're saying, but like, there's still like a right way to make a movie, though. Like, you need cameras, you need audio, there's core things you need in order for a movie to be a movie. Same thing with a painting. You need a canvas, you need paint, you need brushes. Like there's a specific way. You can't just take a pencil and do that to a canvas and it's a painting. Like you need a specific thing. And it's the same thing with movies. You have to have specific elements in order for it to be a movie. So I think if that applies, I think also kind of inherently there has to be kind of an objectively like, this is good, this is bad.
Well then, yeah.
To a point.
I see what you're saying. But any Joe Schmo can make a good painting, and just like any Joe Schmo could make a good movie too, I think. But I don't think any Joe Schmo could make a lot of good movies or a lot of good paintings in a row. Not everybody's going to be Steven Spielberg or James Cameron or whatever. So I don't know. That's my take on that, but I don't know. Because like if you give somebody all the equipment, you give them all the canvas and the brush, or you give them the sound stage and the camera and the lighting and all that, that doesn't mean they're going to make a great movie or a good painting.
Yeah, but I mean, like with that though, if you handed someone a bunch of camera equipment and lighting and stuff like that, and they just shot stuff, that's not a movie.
Why isn't it a movie?
Because movies, like, even though yes, there are different types of movies and different genres and different ways of making a movie, movies inherently, since they were created, all have some sort of plot or some sort of driving beginning, middle, and end, and some sort of through line to them, where it starts one way and it ends another way, and there's characters in them that go on some kind of journey or some kind of adventure in some kind of way. Even with movies that, you know, are very slow and usually don't have conventional, you know, character arcs, there's still some beginning, middle, and end sort of structure to the movie.
So if
you can't just go out and like film deers walking around and consider that a movie.
But if I filmed myself just doing day-to-day activities for 2 hours and put it in a theater, is that not a movie?
No.
Why not? Like,
because there's not like a structure to it. There's not a plot. There's no idea behind it. It's just you just doing stuff.
There is an idea. It's the idea of just my life. It's just my life. That's what I called it. My life. But that's not like
there's no driving for, like, I think a movie inherently needs some sort of conflict, whether a movie doesn't inherently need like a plot, because there's a lot of movies out there that don't have like a story to it. But I think there's always something in every movie where something happens that makes a character go, oh, hey, that's weird. And then it makes them do something. I think every movie since like the dawn of time has something in it that's kind of like that, like the inciting incident in some kind of way, even if it's minor.
But I see what you're saying. But can you play on that too much that makes it a bad movie?
What do you mean?
Like, take M. Night Shyamalan, for example. His conflict is always a weird twist in his movies. And that has become kind of his calling card.
Well, yeah, but that's still a movie, though.
But can you play on it too much to where it makes it a bad movie? You're playing on the big conflict and so much that it takes away.
You can make Yeah, you can definitely do that. It's happened. But he's still making a movie, though. It's just a bad movie. M. Night Shyamalan isn't recording himself taking a shit for 2 hours and claiming it's a movie.
I mean, I wouldn't see that he wouldn't do that, though. But
he probably wouldn't. He'd probably have a twist for that as well.
Oh, it wasn't shit. It was crabs.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah, it's a tough question to ask, what makes a movie good, or what even, like, where does that me just filming myself in a movie, where is that like thin line where they come together and like they're close but they're not?
Well, I mean, and also I think the words good and bad, and I could be wrong about it, but when I hear the word good, that to me kind of is an objective statement. Like, this is good. That, like, this is a good thing. This isn't me saying I like something. This is me saying this is good, which means it's an objective. Like, this is a good thing. This can't be bad because it's good. I think the words good and bad are kind of objective. So I think if someone calls a movie good or bad, that objectively means that they're good or bad. Because I feel like if we are going to say movies are meant to be more subjective, we should stop using terms like good or bad.
I think
I could be wrong about that, which I might be.
I think you might be onto something there, because when I say a movie's good or bad, I'm talking about whether I liked it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whether you liked it or not whether it's actually good or bad.
Because when I talk about BVS, I say it's a bad film, but in technical terms, it's a good movie.
Yeah, exactly. You think it's a bad movie because you don't like it.
Yes.
But it's still a well-made movie. It's made like any other movie would be made. Exactly. You just don't like the stuff in the movie. So does that inherently mean it's bad, quote unquote? Like it's a poorly made like pile of dog shit.
And see, that there's that's a tough question, because it's my opinion.
Exactly.
Like your opinion is it's good because you like it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to ask me from a technical standpoint, is it a good movie? I'd say yes, it's a good movie. But do I like it? No. So for me, that makes it a bad movie. Whenever somebody would ask me if it's a good or bad movie, just asking, I would say it's a bad movie because I didn't like it. But I don't know. It's a tough question.
That's the thing, though. You didn't like it, though.
I know.
But you're also acknowledging that it's a good movie because it's made well.
It's a well-made movie, but I didn't like it, so I consider it a bad film. But maybe you're right. Maybe we shouldn't use those terms like that anymore if we're talking about that. I don't know. What would you use instead of that, though?
I think honestly, because usually whenever I talk about a movie, I say like I like this or I don't like this. I think if we are going to go with the whole artist subjective thing, I think we need to start using terms like I like or I dislike it. Because I think, and it could just be my brain shorting out on me, but I feel like good and bad is like a definitive thing. It's like when you have a comic book and you have a good guy and a bad guy. One of them is good, one of them is bad. One is definitively bad. He's not, there's no gray area. He's a bad guy. One's a good guy. One's off to go do some good.
Yes,
it's not like an opinionated thing.
But when you flip the sides, like let's talk about like Thanos, he's the bad guy, but to him, he's the good guy.
He's the protagonist of his own story, but what he's doing isn't good.
For him, it is. He thinks it is.
I mean, I guess that's kind of
what he thinks is good is what other people think are bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
He's trying to save the universe where everybody else is like, you're killing half the universe to save it. But
that's fair, though. But murder inherently is bad, though. Like, that's a universal concept that murder is bad.
Considers it a sacrifice to save the universe.
But he's not acknowledging that it's not bad. He's just saying, like, I have to do this because this is what I have to do to save the universe. He's not saying, like, fuck you, murder's great.
True. I don't know. I don't know if good and bad is definitive or not.
It might not be. I could just be making shit up. But to me, when I hear something that like, oh, this food is good, that's good. It's a well made, like it's a good food. It's good food. But it's not whether you like it or dislike it. It's good.
No, when people say food is good, it's usually that they like it.
Yeah, I know, but I think like and good are two different things.
I mean, usually, but people put them hand in hand.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. If they are actually two different things, which they might not be, I don't know. But then we need to stop using them kind of interchangeably.
Well, I mean, that's going to be a movement that's hard to put into place right now with all the other movements we got going on.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. There's good and bad, almost kind of like the technical aspect. And then there's like and dislike for the opinionated side of it.
And that might be honestly where it comes down to, where it's just like, at the end of the day, yes, it's your opinion. It all comes down to opinions, whether you like or dislike something. But inherently, I think most movies are, for the most part, well made.
For the most part. What would you say about like Birdemic?
That's a piece of shit movie. Because that's made by somebody who doesn't have any idea like how to make a movie.
But is it bad? It has a beginning, middle, end.
Yes, because technically, like, it's not made well.
It's not made well
because it's made by somebody who doesn't know how to make a movie.
But like The Room,
same thing with The Room. Tell me why I didn't know how to make a movie.
It's a movie, though.
It is a movie. He knows how to turn a camera on and like. Record people talking.
So
what he doesn't know how, but that movie doesn't have like a plot though.
That
movie's all over the place.
It makes it a bad movie and not a good movie in technical aspect.
The fact that like there's not really an inciting incident. There's sort of like a loose plot to it, but it's kind of just nonsense for most of the movie. Like it looks good because Tommy Wiseau shot it on film. Because that's the thing people did, so he's just like, all right, I'll do that.
Does that make the Transformers movies bad? Because they're kind of just nonsense. They don't really have.
No, because those have a plot. Those have, bad guy wants to take over the Earth or whatever the fuck is Megatron's fucking goal in those movies, and the good guys have to stop him. That's the plot of the movie. That's the inciting incident.
All right.
There's inherently some conflict going on between the characters. It might be a jumbled, like, incoherent mess, but there's still some.
So you're saying almost any movie you see in the theater is going to be good on a technical aspect? Almost every movie?
Yeah.
The only time you'll see a bad movie, technical-wise, is going to be like an indie film or something.
I mean, even most indie movies now are pretty, like, technically well made.
But, like, if you were wanting to find a bad movie, you wouldn't find it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like any movie on Amazon Prime, that's like straight to Amazon Prime is probably not very good.
I see what you're saying with separating the two, though. I see what you're saying. I don't think that movement's going to happen, Wade. Just let you know.
Won't. But I'm just saying, like, if it's two different things, we need to separate the two. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we're still gonna use these words however we want to use them. But it's just it's a
weird. They mean different.
yeah. But it's something that I think about quite often. Like what makes a movie good, and is there inherently a good and a bad, like definitive?
Right. I don't know. I kind of agree with you with the what makes a good and bad, just having a plot than not being totally idiotic and all that stuff. Do you think visuals has anything to do with a good or bad movie?
I mean, to a point. I don't think that 100% matters, because there's a lot of movies from like the 50s that are technically like not super like fun to look at, but they still have a plot. But that's also because, you know, they're early days of movies and they didn't really, you know, have the best technology back then. But sometimes, I mean, film is a visual medium, and I think that visual storytelling is a big part of movies. But I don't think a movie inherently not looking the best automatically makes it bad. I just think it makes it different. Because not every movie you see is fucking amazing to look at. That doesn't inherently mean it's bad.
I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. It's an interesting question, for sure. I don't think there's any right answer to that question either.
There probably isn't. It's probably one of those like weird questions that it's just like we'll never know. There's not going to be like nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's just like this whole thing. We're talking about like what's definitive and what's, you know, not. But at the end of the day, this is kind of my opinion anyway, which is subjective.
Last topic we talked about last week, what makes a movie a classic, is also, I don't think there's any right answer to that either.
Yeah.
We're hitting questions that you got to think about.
Fuck. This is like some Stephen Hawking shit.
I think there are a lot of things with movies come down to just your personal opinion too.
Yeah, and I mean, for the most part, that's at the end of the day, that's all that matters, really.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you watch a movie and you think what you want to think about. There's nobody telling you like it has to be this way. It's whatever you think about the movie.
Yeah.
If you think The Godfather is a terrible movie, you think The Godfather is a terrible
movie? If you think Godfather is a terrible movie, you shouldn't be watching movies, all right? You're a piece
that's
of shit.
their opinion, Wade. That's their opinion.
I don't give a fuck. That's a bad opinion.
If you think Transformers 3 is the best movie ever made, then you think the Transformers.
Oh man, you deserve to get thrown in prison. You're a terrorist of fun.
You think that? I don't think the Transformers movies aren't fun. Well, I mean, I think
they're so boring.
They have things happening.
I like Ken Jeong in the third one because he's just fucking insane.
Which one's the third one? Does that have the dinosaurs in
Dark of the Moon. No, Age of Extinction. The fourth one has the dinosaurs in it.
I've never finished the fourth one.
Dark of the Moon has the girl in it that's not Megan Fox.
Yeah. I know that one. Yeah. I haven't finished the fourth one ever.
I haven't finished the fourth one. I didn't even start the fifth one.
I've started the fourth and I always fall asleep. I never make it to the end. Even though it's like not even hours. It's not even that long of a movie, but it feels like a long movie.
Oh, man. I don't know what the hell Michael Bay, like, why his movies just feel so fucking long. He could make a 90-minute movie that feels 4 hours. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. I haven't seen the fifth one at all. So
I haven't either. It looks like a mess.
Freaking The Last Night or whatever.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins is in that movie. And I'm like, why?
Optimus Prime turns evil in that. Why?
I get for like a second, probably. He punches Bumblebee once, and then Bumblebee's like, oh, I thought we were buddies.
But they showed it in all the trailers.
I don't give a shit. They did the same thing with Fast and Furious 8.
The same thing with Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic World.
Exactly.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about, Wade?
Not really.
You got a fun fact of the day? Finish it off.
Fun fact of the day. God damn it. You do this every episode, and every episode I'm like, I don't know what the fuck.
You should just have one ready just in case.
I should. You would think at this point I would, but I don't.
I do. I have a kind of a fun fact for the day.
Why don't I ask you what the fun fact is? Because you seem to have a fun fact every fucking day.
Well, today I do. Usually I don't really have one.
What is your fun fact?
Do you know what the longest record of living on a boat at sea, or like a little boat being stranded at sea, is?
38 days.
438 days.
That's fucking nuts. That's a year. That's longer than a year.
2 guys got stranded in the Pacific Ocean on a little dinghy fishing boat, and one of them went crazy and died, committed suicide.
Oh my god!
And the other guy just waited it out. He caught fish and drank blood.
Did he eat that guy?
Well, he's never said he did or didn't. But
He's never like fully confessed to eating a human being.
he actually was in Mexico where he started, and he drifted across the entire ocean to like Asia, and that's where he got found. Was he landed on an island in Asia? Across.
See, that other guy was smart. I would have just ended it.
But the guy who lived got sued by the family of the guy who died because they said he ate him. So,
I mean, do you have proof?
Nope, the guy never said he did or didn't, and the body decomposed by the time it got to, because the other guy lived for like 3 months, and then
So you can't sue anybody, because then you could accuse anyone of eating anybody.
That man that's been dead for 5 years. Did you eat him?
You ate him. I'm gonna sue you.
So
you gotta have some kind of proof.
He lived, and then he lost all of his money because he got sued.
That sucks. Fuck that family.
But yeah, I couldn't imagine.
What did they want him to do? I'm stranded on this boat. I gotta eat something.
Wade, if me and you are stranded and I die, you can eat me.
I was going to. I didn't need your permission.
If I die, you can just eat
going
me.
to. All right.
I'm dead. I don't care what happens to my body.
I know. I know you don't care. I'm gonna fucking eat you.
I could not imagine though living at sea by yourself for over a year. That's insane.
That'd be nuts.
I'd lose my mind. Just staring at nothing but the ocean for years.
I mean, at some point you'd come across Jason Momoa, and then that'd be kind of fun.
I was surprised that guy didn't lose his mind. He had nobody to talk to.
Sure, he did
for a year.
If he ate a man, he lost his fucking mind.
I mean, we don't know if he ate him. He probably did.
He ate that fucking guy. There's no way he survived on fishes and stuff, because fish have mercury in them, and that would kill you. He ate that fucking guy.
Eating them raw. He had no way to cook them.
Exactly. So like he has no he didn't get poisoned from that.
He had to eat the guy raw. He didn't have any way of cooking him.
But I feel like eating a human.
He also drank blood because he didn't have water sometimes.
Drink blood.
But he would collect rainwater, but if it didn't rain, he'd have to drink blood.
Vampires drink blood. They're just fine.
It's a vampire. They're not real.
There are people out there who consider themselves vampires who just drink blood. And they're just fine. They don't have any kind of diseases at all.
There's also people out there that like eat toilet paper. They're weird too.
And that's less weird than drinking blood.
There was a guy that ate an entire plane.
That's not real.
He did. It took him like
real at all.
15 years, but he ate it.
Why these people need to like not have kids? Like what go okay, cool. You ate an entire plane over 15 years. What now?
That was his life goal.
Great.
Is he like sitting there? He's like, we're getting to the couch cushion today.
I'm doing the cushions.
And then like next week, he's like, oh man, I'm in the engine.
Like what happens once you finally like eat the whole thing? Is your life just meaningless now? Like you kill yourself now?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he has some sort of screw loose if he's eating a freaking plane.
Probably. But like, does he eat a jet now? Like
he eats a tank.
You can't just eat a plane over 15 years and just be like, all right, that's it. I'm good.
What made him get to that point? It's like, I'm gonna eat a plane.
Fucking crazy.
You telling me you don't want to sit down and eat an entire plane, Wayne?
No, because there's I'm not eating metal.
If you ate it slowly enough, you could.
But yeah, I don't. That's not how I eat food. I eat food relatively quick because I don't enjoy my food when I eat it.
Taste it.
I eat it for the nutrients. I don't eat it for the taste.
Inhale it.
I just inhale that shit. I eat food way too fast. I need to slow down.
I ate food fast because I grew up in a house full of boys. If you don't eat fast, you don't eat.
I mean, that totally makes sense. I just eat food fast because I don't know. I like getting through things fast. That's why I don't like watching TV. I'm just like, I just want to get it over with.
Let me see the end.
Like, I don't like eating because it takes up time.
Usually you eat while you're doing other stuff.
I do, but if I'm eating something, it kind of takes away some time from the other thing. So I'm like, I want to just fucking eat this so I can get back to this fucking thing.
Have you ever ate something and enjoyed it so much that you had to rewind something you were watching? Have you ever done that?
I do that all the time. I do that all the fucking time, and it's annoying. I hate it because I'm over there like chewing and munching and shit, and then I'm like, all right, I missed that whole conversation. Let me fucking rewind.
You're sitting there just staring at your Taco Bell burrito, like, oh yeah, and then you're like, oh shit, I missed.
Fuck, I've never stared at a Taco Bell burrito that way. Is that how you do that? Do you do that? Oh no. Yeah.
I pull a Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's not how I stare at Taco Bell.
No, I stare at a Taco Bell burrito and I go, oh man, what the fuck am I doing in my life?
Qdoba, maybe. But Taco Bell, no.
No. Taco Bell is like bottom of the like I've hit rock bottom food. It's like I don't give a shit about my body or anything.
It's where you go and you're like, oh yeah, $5.
$5 for 17 burritos. Fuck yeah.
I'm going to Taco Bell.
It's quality food.